Stress. Yes, it's a feeling. Yes, we feel it down here somewhere or in our chest. Yes, we don't like it, and yes, it affects how we live out our daily lives. Now, I'm fully aware that most stress courses out there are delivered by counsellors, therapists, mindfulness coaches, new age therapists, gurus, or other people who would tell you to follow a series of miracle steps or do some stress management exercises, some new revolutionary breathing techniques. But I'm not interested in doing this, and all these things bore the crap out of me. I'm not going to tell you to do more exercise or start eating healthier, because if I was to say or tell you to start doing these things, all I'd actually be telling you to do is just react and respond to the stress symptoms that you're currently experiencing in life, which would be reactive, not proactive. I mean, if you think about it, what's the greatest problem that you have in life? What's the greatest problem that you currently have in your life? Now, as I ask this question, you might be thinking, oh, my work, my boss, my finances, my relationships, my wife, my kids, yeah, all these my neighbours, all of these sorts of things. But if we could just slow things down here for a second, I would just like to urge you to stop and look and see how the only problem that you ever have in life, if you think about it, is just the way that you feel sometimes. If you think about it, you only ever have a problem when you feel like you have a problem. You see, as negative emotions are our greatest problem in life. You see, if you've ever watched a course like this before, which gives us a load of things to add to your to-do list, then you're going to know that being given more things to do can bring about some short-lived moments of peace and internal ease, but there's no technique or process that you can follow that's going to prevent these destructive feelings of stress from eventually coming back again and from doing even more damage to your life. So here, I'd simply like to do a quick illustration that's hopefully going to help you to manage your expectations about what you can expect to discover throughout the rest of this course in the next sections. Because unlike most people, I am not interested in helping you to deal with the symptoms of stress. And I do appreciate that might sound a little bit unusual. All I want to say here is that I'm fully committed and interested in helping you to deal with the root cause of stress. Because every effect in life has a cause and effect. And stress is actually just an effect of the decisions that we make and the way in which we are managing our day-to-day lives. You see, cause and effect is just a series of consequences that come about as a direct result of the choices that we make. You see, almost every circumstance in our life will have at some point been under one of these two notions, cause or effect. And they're also completely inseparable, meaning that when there's a cause, there's also going to be an effect, and vice versa. You see, a cause is just anything that makes something else happen. Take, for example, stress. It's always going to be possible to figure out the cause of stress by asking the question, where is this stress coming from? And or where did the stress begin? So whilst most people look to deal with the stress, alright, the most effective approach that we can take in life is sourcing and recognizing the cause, because stress is the effect, but every effect has a cause. You see, effect is always what happens next, directly after a cause. You see, no effect in life or stress in life could ever come into existence without a particular and specific cause. And the interesting thing here, though, is that although causes always happen before effects, it's always the effects that are noticed before the causes are understood, if that makes sense. So when it comes to stress, because it's uncomfortable and because we don't like it, we tend to assume that it's the stress effect that's the main problem and not the initial cause. So let me show you what I mean here. So on the board behind me here, you're going to see another one of my really dodgy diagrams, alright? And this here represents a cliff edge. And at the bottom of this cliff edge, you've got a bunch of stress heads. They've got red heads and they're looking all angry. Really, really stressed, alright? They're people who've fallen off the cliff. So, what most self-help books and courses, they will say, right, do more deep breathing exercises, do some yoga, take more regular exercise, eat healthy, do all this stuff so you can manage your stress. But what I'm hoping to illustrate here is that the stress in your life right now is just the effect. It's the effect, hope I've spelled that right, it's the effect of a prior and previous cause. You see, cause is up here, all right? This is the causes of everything that happens in your life. And if you'll notice here, up here, the guys have got blue heads because they're cool. They're cool and collective. They haven't yet fallen off the cliff and gotten themselves stressed. So you see, what I'm pointing towards here, all right, is identifying areas in our lives where we can begin building up guardrails and boundaries that will just simply help us and prevent us from falling off the cliff. You see, if we're not aware of the things that are happening in our lives, the causes of the stresses in our lives, then it becomes very, very simple, very, very easy to focus more on the stress and assume that stress in our life is the main problem. But it's not, it's the causes. So if we can prevent ourselves from tripping over the causes, then guess what? That means that we won't fall off the cliff and fall into stress. So, to help you understand this slightly more effectively, I've put together a stress balance questionnaire. You see, what I've grown to understand and identify throughout life is that we have 7 main primary areas in life. If you think about it, we've got our finances, we've got our relationships, we've got our career, our education, we've got our routine responsibilities, our outside of work time, our work-life balance, hobbies, recreation, our inner mental and emotional well-being, our degree of contribution in the world, all these sorts of things. So we can break life down to 7 primary areas, all right? And when we are not getting what we want in one of those areas, well, guess what happens? Stress comes about. So you see, stress 9 times out of 10 is just simply us not getting what we want in one or more areas of our life. All right. So I'm not asking you to take my word for this right now yet. Anyway, what I'm going to urge you to do here is print off the worksheet that you're going to find in the additional materials section, because this worksheet actually breaks your area down into those 7 different areas. And each one of the areas you're going to see will have a load of questions. Areas like this, the first section of the workbook focuses more on your family and your social relationships. What I'm going to ask you is a series of between usually 12 to 14 questions. How important are your family relationships? How satisfied are you with your family relationships? And all this workbook is really going to help you to do is help you to begin identifying the causes of the stressors in your life. And this is just more of an awareness raising exercise, because if you're not aware of what's causing you stress, then you're actually never going to be able to take the necessary steps to build these preventative measures in place that's going to stop you from falling off the cliff anyway. So take 5-10 minutes, complete this exercise, and in the discussion section, just simply let me know how you've got on with it. But I'm hoping and expecting that this is going to open up your eyes.